We're ready now to hear from Nasera. Nasera?
Thank you very much. The first time I opened my eyes, I was in a refugee camp. Who has ever lived in a refugee camp? Thank you very much. We did not have any basic needs. There was no food. When I got to Dartmouth College and went to the dining hall, I saw plenty of food from different continents, and I flashed back to my life in the camp, and I said, God is very unfair. We spent days without eating food. Being a child, hoping to have a meal, at least in a day, but you don't see any sign, only waiting to receive the food aid from UNHCR. We did not have any water. Being a girl in my painful menstrual periods, I went for 3 good days without bathing. My fellow ladies, imagine that discomfort. As if that was not enough, we walked for 5 kilometers through the thick bushes with many snakes, and we were exposed to being raped and battered on our way to the water wells. We spent sleepless nights in the cold because we did not have good houses. My house leaked. Because the heavy rains really made my nights so bad for me. I did not have all the money to fix my house. My family never had anywhere to get the grass to fix up our house. I went to school on a barefoot. I watched my friends wearing shoes, and I wished I had that opportunity to put on even a slipper. I never had anything to eat during breakfast, but just survived on the wild fruits. I ate sorghum grains, boiled sorghum grains, for my lunch. My school was not much of a school. Classes were attended under trees. And as if that was not enough, we sat on the hard, cold stones. Life was not easy in the refugee camp, but we just pushed our days with playing as children so as to endure hunger and cut the days short. But being in a foreign country, we were not welcomed by the nationals. The girls were so mean and abusive to me. And I said, to hell with playing. It was one evening that I decided to join my brothers in playing football. I was very surprised that out of all that was happening in the world, I was welcomed and given a position to play for so many years. And that laid a foundation for my soccer and passion career. But being a girl amongst boys, it was very challenging. But because I was very talented in making the balls, that secured for me a position and escaped the beatings. When I went to high school, I continued playing football and later secured a sports scholarship to pursue my bachelor's degree. In 2005, the civil war ended in my country, in South Sudan, and I didn't know how my home looked like. We packed our little belongings and headed back to South Sudan. Upon arrival, the home that I hoped to see was not much of a house. Everything was in rain. But we started rebuilding our lives. After a few years, again another war breaks out, but this time I stayed. I started mobilizing girls to come and join me and play football. And now, I have so many girls with the NASVIC initiative whom I inspire and motivate. From the little girl who was insulted and isolated, I'm having so many girls and carrying out the entire NASVIC initiative all over the country. As Nelson Mandela said, everyone can rise above their circumstances as long as you are determined to and passionate about what you do. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your story of determination, your story of immense courage. And I think that it's a lesson for most of us who take freedom for granted. We don't realize how privileged we are that we have not had to live in a war-torn country. We have not had to endure what she has endured. So I commend you so much for your courage and for sharing your story with us today. I believe we are changed.